Hello, welcome back to Ether. This is Satomi and Paul from sakaso.ca. Happy Thanksgiving to Canadian audience. Right, we're having a Thanksgiving dinner tonight. But US is different, and other country might be different, or they're having different things going on. Don't know, but in Canada it's Thanksgiving. So because of the weekend today landing on Thanksgiving, we want to focus on something about gratitude and around love and how to live a life with positive vibe and love and gratitude. So that's what we want to cover today. And Manjit, say hi, Satomi. Hi, Manjit. Thank you for watching. And so we're going to start episode 95. So gratitude, that's what we're focusing on, right? How to love your life. Okay, just making sure. It's because it's how to love your life. It can go anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
Right, but focusing on gratitude for now. It's the power of gratitude. It is amazing. It's just it's a medicine.
It is, yeah.
Right, and not so many people know. Some people know, but not so many. But it is a medicine, right? And that we have, right? We have and we can use, and there's no end to it, right? And we can just always create. And
I mean, that's just an example of us being a creator, right? We're creators, and we choose to create whatever emotion space that we want to be in, and by choosing gratitude, we're creating that positive vibration in our life, and creating positive and allowing positive energy to come through us, and it changes so much, right?
Yeah. So we can pick some example. There's so many examples that we can choose from, that how gratitude works and helped us, right? Do you have anything that comes up? If you don't have anything, I have one, a big one. You look scary. Which one you're thinking about?
What's the only going to say? I never know. Well, why don't you go ahead? We'll go from there.
When you got really, really, really sick, and like we talked about this, used this example many times, but so he got really, really, really sick, like that. It could be the end, kind of sick, right? Pain, and could just boom, all of a sudden.
This is years ago.
Yeah, all of a sudden it just like yesterday he was fine, today he's in bed, not able to move, and we have no idea what was going on, and not the next day and next day and next day, just getting worse and worse and worse, and no words from doctors, right? So that's when that happened, and he wasn't even in bed. He couldn't go to bed, right? So he was on the floor actually, and because he couldn't move to go to bed. And then that time, I know we use gratitude. That's one of the big one that we did. We both intuitively knew that you were going to be okay, And there's
It was
no.
weird. Yeah, it was so strange that my body was going through such excruciating pain and weakness, and it was downhill every day, and it was so fast, and yet, and there was nothing, like you said, no help from the doctors. So but there was this also along with it. There was this feeling like it's going to be okay, right? Just this intuitive feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had that feeling that you were going to be okay based on nothing, right?
It's
Based
not like
on
anything like this happened before,
Yeah.
and I recovered from it, and so I had some
No.
experience with it. No, this
No.
was completely
new.
new
Yeah.
and bizarre.
Yeah.
And,
And but the people who use intuition, you know this. Like sometimes you just know that it's gonna be okay, and then we had that feeling. So that was big, and instead of being afraid and he might gonna die and then this is the end, I'm gonna lose him, and then what's gonna happen after he died, and those we could go on that way right deeply, but we didn't, and so thankfully we had this intuition telling us that it was gonna be okay, and then we use gratitude. That's one of the big exercises we did, right? Don't exactly remember what we did. It's just being grateful in general, being grateful that you are here, being grateful you are still able to eat, right? Just simple thing, because you couldn't do anything, right? You couldn't get up, you couldn't move, so just simply being grateful that you are alive, right? That was it, and then that's pretty much all we could do. We did, of course, we did subconscious shift, but that's more a little after, right? When you are in pain and couldn't do anything, couldn't get up, we couldn't even do the subconscious shift work either, right? So the main exercises we did was gratitude, just being grateful that you're here right now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but you're here right now.
Yeah.
So focusing on that and sending gratitude, that's what we did. And something shifted, and then you got you were able to change the direction.
Yeah,
Right,
it was very
and
strange.
coming
I mean, and it wasn't the only thing that we did.
Mm-hmm.
There was other healing approaches that we were doing at the same time, natural healing, but that's it. There was no pill. There was no procedure, no even recommendation from the doctor, nothing, right? So we were on our own, and we tried a few different things, and that was one of them. And there were some other ones that were just, part of, similar to the kind of shift work that we do now, with our clients and with ourselves as well, to continue the good work. Yeah, the gratitude was an important part of that. And the trajectory was so strange because of the illness, because it was going down, 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 down. I guess it started slowing in its downwardness, right, for a little bit, and then but it was very, very soon after that when it started to pick up, right, and it was kind of right, just now, like I wasn't sick for a long time. It was bizarre, and how deep it went, and then how fast it came back up again.
Yeah, like a doctor couldn't figure it out.
No, yeah.
Why you are walking?
Yeah, he couldn't understand why I was walking.
Yeah.
He couldn't understand how I'd recovered. and because they did figure out what it was eventually, but and it's in those situations, patients stayed sick for months. Yeah.
At the best. Right?
Yeah, that's the best outcome.
Yeah.
So that was quite remarkable. And it's not. I wouldn't say that gratitude work like that can be always expected to have that kind of outcome. There are other things that come into it, right? So it's not like this is the one and only, right? And this is not, like you said, there's a lot of things that come into to love your life, right? So but gratitude work is so important. That's what's beautiful about Thanksgiving, is that we're grateful for our lives, for food, for family, friends, right? It's a very sacred thing. Really, it's very sacred, and it's very healing, and it changes your perspective, right? And like in the moment, right? And like at any time, it does. Like you said, it's that you're creating, and it's endless how much you can do, but you can change your. Well, it's a very deep Buddhist thing where what is at the heart of human suffering, right? What is it that people that creates all this trouble that we go through, all the pain and difficulty in our lives? And when you break it down, what it really comes down to is dissatisfaction. So it's when we don't appreciate. So if dissatisfaction, you're not appreciating what's right there. Right.
Yeah.
So you want something more. You're unhappy with what you have. You don't look at things in a way that is appreciative, right? That of all the things that we have, right? And another way to kind of look at that is that no matter how bad things are, things could always be worse, right? Always, right?
Yeah.
That speaks to again to the power of gratitude, because you're directly in opposition to that dissatisfaction. When you're appreciating, it's the opposite of not appreciating, right?
So opposite of suffering.
Yes, yeah. So all that resistance that comes in, all that any frustration, any anger, sadness, right? If you're sad, you're not grateful. If you're grateful, you're not sad, right? So and same as anger and all those other negative emotions. You can't be in a negative emotion and be grateful at the same time. Right?
Yeah.
So that speaks to how powerful this is. And it also speaks to it's kind of hard to put into words a little bit for me, because of how it's so I've had the tendency in my life to be very caught up in my head, right? And always try to solve problems, right? So like, I can solve this, I can fix it, right? And being a guy, tend to be, approach things like they're problems to solve and fix them, right? Right. So I can fix the sink plumbing, I can fix my life, right? So I can fix relationships, right? So it's always fix, and problem solving. But that way of being is all in your head. It's all head energy, and it's great that you can do so many things. That's whatever they are. It's great, but it is not connected to your heart, right? And it can lead immediately to frustrations, and it automatically presupposes that there's a problem to solve.
So
right?
So what you're saying is like that if you are always trying to fix thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like if your mindset is fix this, fix that, that means you are looking at things are broken,
Yes.
right? And need to be fixed. This is not good. It's not good enough.
Not good.
You have to fix it.
Yeah.
So not good enough, right? It's broken. Then appreciation, gratitude is missing. That's what you're saying. So you are, and then you might think once it's fixed, I'm happy, right? I would appreciate, I have gratitude once it's fixed.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But once it's fixed.
Yes.
Right. So that's the part.
So that makes it conditional.
Yeah.
It means it's not good now.
Yeah.
But if I fix it, then it will be good.
Yeah.
And somehow that equates into happiness, right?
Yeah. 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 So it's a conditional happiness.
Yeah.
Conditional love. Right. So that's it's not the gratitude, the true gratitude.
Correct.
That we are. It's just conditional gratitude.
Well, it's conditional satisfaction, right? For sure, right? Mm-hmm. And then you would appreciate and be happy that you've been victorious, right?
So it's
you've
ego.
won this battle against
ego
the sink or whatever it is, or the relationship problem, right? Whatever it is. So it's conditional.
So, ego satisfaction. Like we talked about it the other time. I don't remember what we talked about, but ego satisfaction is not. It's not same as true happiness. Not same as true gratitude. It's totally different. It's at the opposite side from that true happiness and true, right?
Well, and it comes down, if you think about where we started the conversation, that there's a satisfaction you're searching for by solving this problem, because right now you're dissatisfied, right? So
your start point is you're dissatisfied.
Yeah.
So that's, you are starting there. That's the issue. That's the suffering part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lie that we tell to ourselves. We fool ourselves into thinking that once we solve the problem, then it's going to be good and happiness, right? Well, the thing is that, like, okay, on my to-do list, I've got 5 things for today or 10 things for today, whatever, right, on my to-do list. Is that all the things that that I would really want to have taken care of? I don't think so. I think there's probably about 10 million, billion more than that. So, like, okay, I took care of that sink, right? I fixed the sink, right? But next, right? So your mind immediately switches into, okay, I got that one. What's the next one on my list? And the next one, next one. And it's always then in that state of needing to get somewhere. Yeah, so you fix it, you have satisfaction, this moment of satisfaction, and perhaps.
Then
yes,
next,
there is that, just that, like, moment, yes, I got it.
Yeah, moment of satisfaction, and then go on the next one, and then now you are back in broken life. This satisfaction.
That sounds pretty severe. You got the sink? Yeah. Well, now you try fixing your life, son. How about that? Paul, it's on your to-do list. I see it there.
Broken. Life with broken stuff. Is it better? Like broken. So something is broken, and then you need to fix it.
Yeah.
You fix one thing and you feel, yay, I did it. And now next, and then your life is not perfect anymore.
Yeah.
Just one moment that then, yes, this part is perfect now. What's next, right? So, and then you just keep chasing it, and then you keep chasing this ego satisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like, it's, I don't know if it's right to say this, but it's kind of like addiction,
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Yeah.
right? You want to feel this ego satisfaction,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just it's an ego. It's not true happiness. Ego satisfaction, and then it feels good. It's like a organism, kind of thing, right?
You didn't mean organism, did you? You meant the other one.
I meant the other one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Organ.
Sounds similar.
So so that I feel good, and then it's done, and now you see this, and this is now good, and then you are chasing that satisfaction, and once it's done, this next one, and this
Mhm.
one, this one, this
Yeah,
one, and then always not truly satisfied.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it can, and it's so weird because we, like, I tend to fool myself into thinking that it's going to be that great place once it's
Mhm.
fixed, right?
Mhm.
But then also at the same time, when I run into bumps in the road,
Mhm.
you know, like I'm working on the sink and oh man, I forgot to turn off the water and it's starting to leak again, and oh, I gotta get a towel and it's that, or like the part breaks,
Mhm.
right? That I was trying to install and I break it,
Mhm.
right? And or I need another part from the hardware store.
Mhm.
So that's like now that's just the third trip down to the hardware store, right? So like you can get so worked up and frustrated in the process
Mhm.
that by the time you finally get it done, assuming you do, assuming I do, but finally when it's done, it's just like, oh, that stupid thing, right?
Mhm.
Cheap,
Yeah.
cheap construction, whatever, right?
Mhm.
Cheap parts and
Mhm.
right, all that stuff. So there's so much that's an illusion there, and yet there is the addiction, right?
Mhm.
And where does that come from? Well, is that sure there's going to be that, you know, brain chemical release
Mhm.
once you get there, right? You're going to
Mhm.
get that serotonin or
Mhm.
you know whatever, and but then also there's more to it because there's control that
Mhm.
comes in,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, why would I be in that state so often? And
Which state?
that solving problem
Yeah.
state,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
Looking at everything as problems,
Mhm.
because and part of it for sure is that it's a desire for control,
Mhm.
right? Over
Mhm.
control over your world. So I can fix because I can fix because I have control,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, because you're not satisfied, you want to fix it to
Mhm.
be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make the world the way I want it,
Mhm.
and it can then run smoothly
Mhm.
and not break again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So.
So there's that desire for control, and the desire
Mhm.
for control comes from where? It comes from fear. It comes from
Mhm.
fear of not having control. It comes
Mhm.
from trauma. It comes from all those kinds of things. That, you know, unless I get the sink fixed, something bad is going to happen, right? We're not going to be
Yeah, we're
able
gonna
to.
have wet floor
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
and mold and
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of stuff.
and the water bills and
Yeah.
all those things, all those bad things
Yes.
can happen.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So you have to fix the sink.
So I have to fix the sink. So, or I get to fix the sink, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, so like, there's so much in there that it's like it pre it sets you up. It's the preconditions to fall into that habitual behavior.
Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm trying to get at there. Is that there's very deep stuff that underlies it,
Mm-hmm.
that you're kind of set up to fall into that trap unless you go through the process of digging into it, right? And cross-examining what's going on here,
Mm-hmm.
and asking ourselves at the end of doing this for so many years,
Mm-hmm.
are we happy, right?
Of course not. The sink is leaking.
But it's going to be good when I fix it. No, that's right. It's so what? Why is happiness so elusive like that, right? Why is it that people can't find it? Why can't they, reach enlightenment, find happiness, be their authentic self, and all that kind of stuff. So, and this has a great deal to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the simple act of shifting the perspective, which it sounds simple in principle, but to actually put it into practice and to make it work is a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am in trauma, for example, if I'm like PTSD or something, I am not going to have an easy time going into gratitude, even for like just for that exercise I do because I went to a weekend retreat or something like that, right? And I try the gratitude exercise, and this was good. And then try to be there the next day after I go home, right? And then the following week or the following month, and I don't think so, because trauma is going to keep me in a fear-based state and keep me always searching for control, because the trauma, my subconscious knows that I'm not in control. I'm reacting to everything because I'm off balance because of the trauma, right? So I'm going to be preconditioned to immediately go into that control and problem-solving mode, right? So yes, gratitude is powerful and simple, but it's not such an easy thing to embrace and practice for many people. And that's part of the reason why, right? So you would want to practice this, yes, but you also want to look at the big picture and to think about how those other things come into it. When I would get out of bed in the morning, I would just roll into that mindset of, okay, I got to get going. I got my day to get going here. I got a crappy sleep, so I'm groggy and it's like frustrating. I just want my tea or coffee or whatever and get underway, right? So it's and then what am I doing when I'm at work? I'm solving problems, right? So there's just this mindset, this sort of river that you get carried away with, and you then are having a frustrating day because you run into bumps in the road, right? And then you're that happiness, forget it, right? So you're not loving life. So
so forget gratitude.
No.
Just stuck there.
No.
So what
No.
you're talking about?
What I'm saying is that there's if you want to look at the bigger picture and you want to tackle things that might be standing in the way of being in a place of gratitude. And one of those things for me is that shifting away from the problem solving mind, right? It's great to be able to solve problems and to have that ability, and it has its place in life. But if that's what's always happening, right, then you're always pushing aside the gratitude or the appreciation for what we have, for what's right there in front of you, the fresh air, a sunset, the freedom to choose to go to a movie or whatever, right? So like there's a big picture,
Yeah.
right?
So what you have some idea what they can do, or you just saying?
Well, the what worked for me is stepping back,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at what's going on and being honest with myself,
Mm-hmm.
and not just, first of all, not getting up, not necessarily, not just repeating the same approach always.
Mm-hmm.
So being flexible, and making subconscious shifts
Mm-hmm.
to heal
Mm-hmm.
from the PTSD,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then to put things in, change daily habits to practice awareness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
So
those
where gratitude sits in nothing, just it's away from gratitude, or
gratitude is one of those practices,
okay.
right? So doing the gratitude practice is one of
Mm-hmm.
those things,
Mm-hmm.
and it's funny because it can be everything. The gratitude practice
Mm-hmm.
can be pretty much everything
Mm-hmm.
because um, um, it's a perspective. It's a way of looking at life,
Mm-hmm.
and so if you're looking at life as, you know, um, as a problem to solve, like you're saying, that's not going to have gratitude in it. But if you're looking at, if you're looking at um, um, the frustrations that you have in life,
Mm-hmm.
then there's not going to be the gratitude, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you instead you accept the way life is, that's what I was getting to here, is a practice of accepting life as it is and appreciating it as it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's gratitude,
Mm-hmm.
right? That, so just instead of looking at life as a problem,
Mm-hmm.
as something to be angry about,
Mm-hmm.
something to be sad about,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the past too much, all those kind of, like, you know, you want to stay in the present moment, all that kind of thing. But um, if you practice, if we practice looking at life, no matter what is going on, and appreciating for what it is. So when,
Mm-hmm.
like, you know, we had a car accident, for example, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were just driving and we were stopped at an intersection,
Mm-hmm.
and then right out of the blue, hit from behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that would be like, nobody would think of that as a positive thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we do, if we look at that as a positive, if we find what's good in there,
Mm-hmm.
then we can move forward. Like for me, I actually had some more trauma from
Mm-hmm.
that,
Mm-hmm.
but going through that, as difficult as that was, I got better at dealing with trauma,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned what
Mm-hmm.
I did in the moment of
Mm-hmm.
the at this on the scene
Mm-hmm.
of the accident. So just shortly after the impact, I was trying to negotiate traffic and walking around, and then um, and deal with this emergency situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, at a certain point, when the immediate stuff had settled down a little bit of dust had settled,
Mm-hmm.
and we were walking away to a safe place for the whole family to stand and wait for the for the emergency services to come on scene. At that point, I let the shock and trauma in. I decided to like, I made a choice, and I was like, oh my God, we could have been killed here, right? The kids could have been seriously hurt from this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was thinking about the kids in particular, like that, in that way, that allowed that shock in.
Mm-hmm.
So I learned what the process was. I actually made a choice right there to feel it for a moment, even for a moment, and that's what settled in the shock, right? The trauma. So I learned at that moment, don't do that, right? After I healed from it, I was, and that makes me better next time at dealing with things that happen.
Next
right?
time we got into car accident.
Well, hopefully not, right? But yeah, so what I'm trying to say is, even when things are tough
Mm-hmm.
and not the way that we want,
Mm-hmm.
there is a way of treating it and knowing it, seeing the bigger picture and appreciating life and its challenges, because in every one of those challenges, there's always a silver lining. There's always something that we gain from the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's even when it's an apparent loss.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. So let's go to gratitude, how we can use. Yes, like you said, if you have trauma, it's going to be difficult. Yes, but doesn't mean power of gratitude reduces, right? Power of gratitude is it's very, very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You might have struggle, but it's still very powerful, and it's a unbelievable medicine to anyone. So, I have trauma, I have PTSD, so it's going to be hard and I'm not going to bother. No, I don't think so. It's still
No,
one of the powerful.
that proved it when I was sick.
Yeah.
Because
Yes, but the way you were saying just a few
well,
minutes ago,
the way I'm trying to
but,
be honest about how it's been,
yeah,
and maintain that place,
yeah, but
right? So
anyway, I want to go more simple. How it works is like, let's say I was frustrated with stuff, right? And then I can feel the frustration. I can feel my negativity, like my energy is negative and heavy, and then I don't like it. I don't like the situation, but I don't like carrying the negative energy in me either. And because it's not helping me, it's not helping the situation, right? So if something happened and then you get frustrated, first you catch yourself being frustrated and ask, is me being frustrated, does this help the situation? Is it going to improve the situation by me being angry? No, no, it doesn't. And am I happy? Of course not, because I'm frustrated, right? So, am I feeling comfortable? Am I feeling empowered? Right? No, 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 no. All the answer is no. And so it might nothing being frustrated not going to change the situation, but at least I want to change this energy. I don't like sitting in there. It's gonna weigh heavy on me, and it gets heavier and heavier and heavier. The more you carry the negative energy, the heavier it gets, and then you're gonna have headache. You're gonna have sick stomach, and you're gonna have tension in your muscle, and you're gonna have sore neck and sore shoulder and whatever that physical issue is gonna start to attack you, right? So I know that, and then okay, I'm carrying some negative energy, and I don't like it. I'm just gonna whenever I catch myself, right? I'm not perfect. Sometimes I don't, but whenever I catch myself, I use gratitude. That's something that you can pull out of it from. You don't need any tools. You don't need any pills. You don't need anything. You can just do it on your own,
mm-hmm.
anywhere, anytime.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, I'm frustrated. Let's say frustrated with what? Frustrated with you. Being what? Being like.
Who would be frustrated with me? Honestly.
Like being frustrated with you, being frustrated with the work or something. Let's say he's so frustrated and grumpy or whatever, and then um, he's throwing some negative things at me, or, as an example. It's not like that happened, but let's say that, and then I get "Ah, why he had to be that way? I go, why he had to talk to me like that?" Right? And get frustrated, and then okay, I'm like, I feel this yucky feeling, and I don't like it. It's no, and then I'm gonna just start saying, I am grateful for anything. Just come up with like a for Paul working. Yes, he's frustrated, but he's working, and I'm grateful for that. He's doing his best, right? And I'm still here. I'm learning something. I don't know what I'm learning by being by Paul being rude to me. Maybe I'm learning patience. I'm learning something different way of dealing with this. So thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this opportunity, and um, I'm gonna take this, and I'm grateful for this opportunity so I can learn something. But I don't know what it is right now, but I'm gonna learn something, and I'm gonna be better, and I'm gonna be wiser. Right? So I just shift to gratitude, shift this frustration. Okay, frustration is right here. There's a there's a lesson, a universe giving me a lesson. I'm just gonna say thank you to universe for this really frustrating lesson, but it's a lesson for me, and thank you very much. Right, and at the beginning it's hard, but the you just keep doing it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a shift. You're gonna feel a shift. I do feel a shift every time I do this, and my energy gets lighter, and I'm not frustrated anymore. It is a magic. It is a power of gratitude, and if you haven't really done it, you can do it when you're frustrated, and then being frustrated doesn't help. And what you can do, you can just try and see, sending gratitude, and see what you feel after it. It is a magic,
Mm-hmm.
and then love comes out after you send gratitude. Just naturally it comes out, and you're gonna be okay with the situation. And then once you're gonna be okay with the situation, you have mind to think what to do. When you're angry, when you're frustrated, your brain is not working. It's just right, going crazy, and you cannot think clearly. You just think negatively,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then your action comes out of fear, out of anger. Your action is based on negative energy, and you don't want to take action when you're in negative energy. So it just takes the situation to worse place, right? So you shift, and then you feel lighter, and you are able to think clearly, and then it's just it's a different world. Like it's really night and day. Like why was I frustrated? That's funny,
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing. But if you felt that, that's great, right? So it's really a magic you can use in you, and it's helping you. Might not be directly helping the situation, but you helping yourself and getting out of this dark energy, and then bringing yourself to lighter energy, and then the rest of the world around you, you can deal with it in a lighter way,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's something that gratitude can do. And like you said, when you have trauma and you are suffering with PTSD, it can be more challenging than other people who don't have those things. But the moment you shift, it is true, right? You use that gratitude tool and you shift yourself. That happened at least once. Once it happened, you can do it again, right? Yes, PTSD tend to bring you back wherever the fear mode, fight or flight mode. So you probably need to do more often or more until you are able to shift completely. But everybody starts from first step, right? And then that first step is really important in gratitude. And once you get used to it, it gets easier, right? And then you can and then you are able to see the big picture. That's what that gratitude does, right? And when you're frustrated, when you're angry, you're only looking at this. But you shift to you shift yourself by using gratitude, then you can step back and you can see the whole picture. And oh, Paul, actually he has been sick, so he's a little bit cranky. So okay, I don't have to be this frustrated because it's just he's fighting the bug, right? And then I'm already releasing some negative energy. So you can gratitude helps you see the whole picture.
Yeah.
Right?
You see the big picture when you're in
Yeah.
gratitude.
Yeah. And then you just keep doing this gratitude exercise whenever you can. And then it becomes your habit. Once it becomes your habit, then that's subconscious is running this habit. So it becomes automatic, right? And then your life gets easier and then you feel happier, less frustrated, right? Those kind of things happen. But yeah, gratitude to exercise, it is, I do use it uh, very often because just it's like a, because I don't want to be negative, like I don't want to hurt myself, right? Being frustrated, being angry, who you are hurting? You, yourself. You are hurting yourself, nobody else. You think being angry hurting the other person, maybe other person take it and then they feel bad and whatever, but before you are controlling the other person and hurting the other person the way you want and making them feel miserable and making them feel bad, you are hurting yourself first. And then way more than other people, because it has to come from you. The negative energy has to come from you, has to be created in here, right? And so you're hurting yourself first, and I don't like that feeling, and so I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want to be nice to myself. I don't want to be.
You don't want to be nice to you?
I don't want to. I want to be nice to myself. I don't want to. Did I say that?
Yes.
I'm running ahead of my words is running ahead of my thinking is whatever. It's words and thinking is not matching. So I want to be nice to myself. I don't want to hurt myself. I put those two sentences together. So
Yes.
and in a totally different meaning. But so yeah, the number one thing is because I don't want to hurt myself. And gratitude really, really helps to stop attacking myself.
Yeah,
Right.
or like yourself being caught in the crossfire of all that frustration,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're directly feel like you're attacking yourself or just being really unhappy about what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, being unhappy is you carrying this anger, that pain. If you carry that anger and pain, literally you are hurting yourself because you're the one who has to carry the pain,
Yes.
right? So if you don't think that way, you can maybe step back and think a little bit and then feel it, and then is your body happy? Body appreciate you being angry? You can think that way, and then if you feel like your body is not appreciating you, you've been angry, then yeah, you can just say you're attacking your body, your energy. So to get out of it is gratitude is one big, huge, powerful tool. Yeah. So it's it's really, really important to make habit of doing gratitude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It works so quickly.
Yeah, it works
right?
really, really quickly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying that if you're frustrated, your mind kind of closes down. Possibilities get narrowed, and you can't think clearly. You can't be your best self, and the frustration can turn into anger, right? And yeah, and like you said, you're hurting yourself by holding that inside yourself, right? That's your creation. What you're holding inside yourself is your creation. And if you're creating it, we tend to think of frustration as being something that is caused by external factors. The world is all messed up, and I'm the one who's trying to. I'm fixing everything I can, but it's a big job, right? All this stuff on our shoulders, right? So that's a bunch of baloney. Um, um, the world just is, and how we respond to it, how we carry ourselves through our experience of our day that's where the creative energy is. That's where our creative spark exists, is how we engage with our life. And if we're doing the frustration thing, we're engaging and creating negative energy and a negative experience. And we tend to reinforce that same thought pattern that led there. Oh, I'm really miserable. That's because the world sucks, right? It's all broken, and other people are no good or incompetent or whatever, right? That stuff, like you said, comes through us, and it tears us apart. It creates poor health, right? It ruins our health. If nothing else, it can ruin so many other things, relationships, etc. But by engaging with the world in a way that sees the bigger picture, sees things for all the things that are positive, and the things that are not the way we want, we see them as a challenge, as an experience that helps us move forward in some way, because every one of those, no matter how small or how big, every one of them does have that learning opportunity in it, that growth opportunity for us. It wasn't necessarily what we woke up in the morning and said, I want to charge out there and feel that challenge, but it's there nonetheless. And it's all on us to engage with it. And if we stay in that place of gratitude, then we're going to see that learning opportunity. We're going to be able to work with it and we're going to be able to get the most from the situation, and the whole experience changes, and it creates happiness in us. And that's our creation. We're creating happiness, so that's how we can love our lives, right?
Yeah. So it's like like you said, challenges. That's how, instead of problems,
Yes.
right? We need challenges to grow. If everything is easy, like that, everything stays as preschool level. You're learning ABC, and that's all you learn for your whole life, and nobody can write ABC. How arranging those alphabets into this order, use these alphabets and put those alphabet in this order makes this word, and you change it to a different order and makes this word, and this word means this, or this word means this in this context, but you use it in different way, it means different meaning, right? So all those things are learning. It's because we have challenges, because we have lessons. It's not easy at the beginning when you first learn and presented, teacher presented, this is this, let's do it. If you have a quiz without being going through any lessons, right? You don't know how to answer, but you go through lessons and then some challenges that teacher throw at you, and sometimes you make mistakes, and then you learn, and then you have the same quiz at the end of the lesson, you know how to answer, right? So it's, and then you just keep going your rest of your life. After you finish school, there's always challenges, right? Challenges not in math and not in English, challenges about life, right? How to communicate with people, how to deal with things when other people are mad. Those things are not, we didn't learn in the textbook, right? We just keep learning, and so when something issue, problems happens, that is the next lesson that you are taking, so you are able to deal with this after you take this lesson, right? So then if you think that way, you can be grateful, hey, I'm taking this course, right? Intensive course sometimes, and can I switch to less intensive course, please? And then that universe doesn't listen, right? That happens, but it's a lesson, and then you can be grateful for the lesson, because it's, the lesson is for you to be wiser, for you to be learn to be flexible, learn to how to deal with lots of different situations, lots of different people. Every situation is different, so we have like unlimited lesson for the rest of our life, and it's, yeah, that's for sure, and that's why we want to be grateful instead of looking at things like it's a problem, and it's empowering.
I would say, in a nutshell, a problem is a challenge where the opportunity is being wasted. So there's, I don't think there are such, I don't believe, I know you think the same way, there's no such thing as a problem, right? It's just an opportunity, or a challenge, I think would be more inclusive way to say it, because there's always the opportunity inside the problem, right? Always, it's always there. So if we say that we've got problems, and look at the world as a bunch of problems, it's wasting the opportunities. It's wasting them because you're not seeing them. So that's why the gratitude
opens the door
for the opportunity.
for you to receive.
Yeah.
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 So that's why I guess we're talking about gratitude today.
Mm-hmm.
Just open the door so you receive opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
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 Good.
So yeah, if you want to talk to us about this stuff in more depth, then keep watching our channel here. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Send your comments in. We'll respond to your comments. We're happy to hear from you guys. And if you want to connect with us and talk about your situation and work through things that are frustrating you and you're getting stuck with, then you can come by our website and schedule a free breakthrough session. Let me see if I can find that link in here somewhere. sakaso.ca/breakthrough. There it is. We'll be happy to chat with you, and we'd love to hear from you some more. So hope you're having a great day. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and bless you. Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.